gonna double check to see if we are live.
Hi, people. If we're on live. Hi.
And we are live. Hello and welcome
Hi.
to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information comes from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History,
Historical calendar,
and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else we gather throughout the show, check the underbox. Anyway, on with the show. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, February 26, 2022. I am, of course, Aoxander, and I am joined by...
Hulk.
Yep.
And the good old beer here, aka the Muffin Man.
Yes.
Yeah,
start us off today.
if you want. In 747 BC, according to Ptolemy, the epoch origin of the Nabonassar era began at noon. On this day, historians use this to establish the modern BC chronologically for dating historical events.
Interesting. Epochs
Yes, it is.
are always a significant event. Mr. Beer here, you want to take the next article?
Sure.
All right.
So in 364, the Valentinian I is proclaimed Roman Emperor.
Nice.
Nice.
1100 years later, roughly, give or take, 1266, during the Battle of Benevento, an army led by Charles, Count of Anjou, defeated a combined German and Sicilian force led by Manfred, King of Sicily. Manfred was killed in the battle, and Pope Clement IV invested Charles as King of Sicily and Naples. So, yeah,
Yep.
dang.
Also, in 1365, the Ava Kingdom and the royal city of Ava were founded by King Imba.
Cool. By the way, your mic is a little scratchy. I'm not sure if...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounded better there.
Anyways, in 1606, the Janssen voyage of 1605 through 06 becomes the first European expedition to set foot in Australia, although it is mistaken as part of New Guinea.
New
No,
Guinea.
New Guinea.
Yeah. 10 years later, in 1616, Galileo Galilei was formally banned by the Roman Catholic Church from teaching or defending the view that the Earth orbits the Sun. Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about it.
Yep. So, like, all those people living in today's world, how information is being suppressed and history is being changed and erased, it ain't anything new. They were trying to, back in the day, the powers that be were trying to keep us so dumb that, most people thought that the Earth was the center of the universe.
Like?
So, keep fighting the fight. Keep, knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yep.
The next one, I gotta find my charger.
Okay. Jumping on up to 1775, the British East India Company factory on Balambangan Island was destroyed by Moro pirates. Well, that's rude.
Well, interesting at the same time, but anyways, in 1794, the first Christiansborg Palace in Copenhagen burns down.
At Copenhagen.
Copenhagen, I cannot pronounce that shit, but
that's all right. That's
yeah.
why we have you on the show. You provide entertainment. Jumping up to 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte escaped from Elba. No, not Elbow, Elba.
Elba. No, has an A at the end, bro.
Yeah.
Elba, not elbow. Jesus.
Found your
Mr.
charger yet,
Walker?
Sohan?
Yeah.
No.
Then I guess I'll take
No.
your turn again. In 1817, the Beach Pneumatic Transit in New York City, intending as a demonstration for a subway line, opened. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Pneumatic, like what a pneumatic is, like sometimes you go to banks and like they have that thing that you can like put in like a little casket and it shoots it through a tube. That's essentially what they were trying to do with the subway system, and have just put everybody into a capsule and just shoot them through a tube. That's pneumatic subway right there.
That sounds absolutely fucking terrifying, but shoot people in a tube like that sounds freaking.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds freaking terrifying, dude.
Well, it's essentially the same thing as like the tube travel from Futurama, except in Futurama you just went in there. A pneumatic system would have you put into a vehicle and then they would shoot you through the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about 1876?
Perfect. So 6 years later, in 1876, Japan and Korea signed a treaty granting Japanese citizens extraterritorially. I know the word, but I just came out wrong. Anyways, territoriality rights, opening 3 ports to Japanese trade and ending Korea's status as tributary state in Qing Dynasty, China.
Nice.
1909.
Yeah.
Or no. Yeah, that's all freaking squish, but yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, it's 1909.
Yeah, speaking of 1909, Kine McCullough, the first successful color motion picture process, was first shown to the general public at the Palace Theatre in London. Nice.
Wow, first and first, right? Shit.
Colored video.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
And then 5 years later, in 1914, the HMHS Britannic, sister of the RMS Titanic, was launched at Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast. And there's a whole conspiracy that the Britannic and the Titanic switched names, and the Titanic that we know of now that sunk, that's actually the Britannic. There are 3 ships. There's the Britannic, the Titanic, and why can't I remember? The Lusitania, I think. I'm not sure.
There's always going to be theories about that type of shit. Like, it's not actually the real shit. But...
Well, if you look into it, there's a lot of like weird things going on. Like there's
weird shit.
Well, about like the Titanic actually suffered a collision before its maiden voyage, and then in order to speed up the process, they just switched the ships. There's another thing about how during the incident, it started a coal fire that they weren't able to put out. So during the whole voyage, there was a coal fire there, and it was the same section that where the gash is. That the gash is yet to even be discovered. So there's a whole bunch of stuff involving the Titanic. But anyway, getting back into the track here, why don't you tell us about...
One? I got these.
Okay.
These 3.
Okay.
In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson signs an act of Congress establishing the Grand Canyon National Park.
Nice.
Yeah, 10 years later, in 1922, President Calvin Coolidge signs an executive order establishing the 96,000-acre Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming.
Nice.
Wow,
2
back to
national
back.
parks.
Yeah, back-to-back 2 national parks. Also in 1835, Adolf Hitler orders the Luftwaffe to begin reformed, violating the provisions of the Treaty of Versailles.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of the Wunderwaffe in World War or Call of Duty games. The electric gun, but Wunderwaffe. But
yeah, Hitler was not supposed to remilitarize the Rhineland, which he did, because magic words on special paper don't mean jack, buddy. So.
no.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, the same year, same day, everything in 1935, Robert Watson Wyatt carries out demonstration near Daventry, which leads directly to the development of radar in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. The British invented radar, which stands for radio detecting and ranging. So RADAR. Jumping on up 365 days later in the year 1936, in the February 26 incident, young Japanese military officers attempted to stage a coup against the government. What is not written here was that there were 3 fatalities, which is reported on in the death section later on. So.
Okay, 1952, Vincent Massey is sworn in as the first Canadian-born Governor General of Canada.
Yeah, you missed one in 1945, in which during World War II, U.S. troops reclaimed the Philippine island of Corregidor from the Japanese.
Huh.
Nice.
Interesting.
Your turn, Mr. Muffin.
Yeah. Okay. 1960, pretty much 15 years later after 45, a New York-bound Atlanta...
New York-bound Alitalia.
Bound. Atlantia airliner crashes into a cemetery in Shannon, Ireland, shortly after takeoff, killing 34 of 54 persons on board.
You know, that's tragic, but that's also morbidly hilarious. Because, like, they were literally launched into their graves. Like, it crashed into a cemetery. Like, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Jumping on up to 1966, during the Apollo program, the launch of AS-201, the first flight of the Saturn IB rocket occurred. Nice. What is a Saturn IB?
That's not the Saturn is like the most powerful rocket.
Saturn IB. Interesting. Looks like the Saturn IV, but it's not. Oh, I see it has a sleeker design. It's pretty cool. Mr. Lunk.
Yes. I'll make this bubbling. Yeah, what year?
71?
1971, right?
1971, UN Secretary General U Thant signed United Nations Proclamation of the Vernal Equinox as Earth Day.
What is vernal equinox? Let's see here.
Vernal equinox, that sounds weird.
In the northern hemisphere, the vernal equinox falls about March 20th or 21st as the sun crosses the celestial equator going north. Okay, so yeah, that's when it shifts. So like, because you know how in the polar regions they get longer summers and longer winters, or like longer days and longer nights. That's because like the Earth is on a tilt. So this vernal equinox is when the tilt goes the other way. So
interesting. Anyways, about 8 years later, in 1979, the Superliner rail car enters revenue services with the Amtrak.
Nice. Let me look it up. What the Superliner rail car even is. Oh yeah, it's this the classic Amtrak, the double-decker cars, passenger trains.
Oh,
interesting. Jumping on up to 1980, Egypt and Israel established full diplomatic relations. All right.
interesting.
Fuck Israel.
Yeah, I agree.
Also in 1987, the Iran-Contra affair, the 12-hour commission rebukes President Ronald Reagan for not controlling his national security staff.
Ooh.
Shit.
He should. Yeah.
Anyways, in 1992, that's a word name there. Anyways, the first the Nagorno, probably I pronounced the shit way off, but anyways, Karabakh, whatever war. Dude, what's up with these names, brother? Gahajala. Jesus fucking Christ. Massacre Armenian armed forces opened fire on Azeri civilians at military posts outside town of Kaljeli. Kaljeli, come on, dude.
Jelly.
Yeah, I mean, I swear to God, I'm so bad at this. Gahad Jolly, dude, I can't pronounce
Jolly.
it. Go Jolly. Leaving hundreds dead.
Dang.
So it's pretty much a war that leaves freaking people dead.
Yeah.
Not surprising, but
Yeah, no, Armenian armed forces opened fire on their civilians, so that's just not nice.
Yeah.
One year later, in 1993, the World Trade Center bombing occurred, in which, in New York City, a truck bomb parked below the North Tower of the World Trade Center exploded, killing 6 and injuring over 1,000 people. Jesus.
That's crazy.
1,000
Yo,
injuries?
you know
Wow.
Trump. Donald Trump talked about before. There was a bomb in the basement that went off, and the tower still stood.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in 1995, the UK's oldest investment banking institute, Barron's Bank, collapses after a rogue security broker, Nick Leeson, loses 1.4 billion speculating on the Singapore International Monetary Exchange using future contracts.
Yeah, so he made a big bet and he lost hard. So that's why you don't make big bets.
so. Anyways, and I think it was 13 years later, in 2008, the New York Philharmonic
Yeah.
Philharmonic performs in, oh God, for the Lord of Christ, Pyongyang, North Korea. This is the first event of its kind to take place in North Korea. Shocker.
Dang.
North Korea.
Yeah. Well, like that's pretty remarkable, you know? Like slowly they're opening up. Slowly.
Also in 2012, 17-year-old African-American student Trayvon Martin is shot to death by neighborhood watch coordinator Andrew Zimmerman in an altercation in Sanford, Florida. Yeah, he got his ass kicked by a 17-year-old. He had to shoot the kid.
Andrew Zimmerman, you mean George Zimmerman?
Yeah, George Zimmerman. Fuck, damn it! I did that earlier, man. I said that guy. Yeah.
Wrong Zimmerman.
If it would have been Andrew Zimmerman, he would have fucking ate the gun. I'm sorry, Pools.
Also in 2012, a train derailed in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, killing at least 3 people and injuring 45. Jeez.
Yeah. Also in 1913, a hot air balloon crashes near Luxor, Egypt, killing 19 people.
God damn.
What are you doing with your knife?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's
Anyways,
not a knife. This is a knife.
God damn. Anyways, and
That man's sword.
Oh, I have a sword in the other room. Sorry, go ahead, Muffin.
anyways, 6 years later, in 2019, Indian Air Force fighter jets targeted Jars-e-Mohammed terrorist training camps in Balakot, I think that's right.
Balak.
Balake.
Balake.
Hey, Ron.
Mohammed.
Also, in 2021, a total of 279 female students aged between 10 and 17 are kidnapped by bandits in the Sambar kidnapping in Sambar State, Nigeria. That is horrible.
Jeez. Before we get into births and deaths, any articles intrigue you guys?
The Apollo program launched.
One at a time, please.
The Apollo program.
Oh, yeah. That is interesting.
I thought the Grand Canyon was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna name this episode "The Formation of the Grand Canyon" and Luftwaffe.
The law waffle.
The Luftwaffe.
Waffle.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off, but I got a tournament to practice for.
All right, you have fun.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
All right. So Muffin, you and I now. You want to go one after the other like we were? With the
I
person
can tell the
deaths?
first two are gonna be freaking terrifying.
Well,
But we can do it.
pardon me. I'll take the first one.
Okay.
Let's go into burst here. Starting in the year 1361, we have Wenceslaus of the Fourth of Bohemia.
In 1777, the triple Matija. God, this is terrifying. Nen Odovic, Serbian priest, historian, and politician, who was the first prime minister of Serbia. Right, Serbia.
Yep, Serbia.
Okay. I thought I was pronouncing that wrong. I was like, shit. Okay.
No, it's not like a Uganda agenda situation. So.
Oh God.
In 1808, we have Nathan Kelly, a U.S. architect who designed the Ohio State House. I want to take a look at that real quick. I like to check out architecture. Oh, that looks pretty cool. A Capitol little building with a really cylindrical type of rotunda there. That looks like somebody... I don't know, man. Like, I guess it's a great model if you have an extra soup can, you know?
Yeah. Anyways, 21 years later, Levi Strauss, I think that's his name. Strauss. German/U.S. fashion design, who founded Levi Strauss and Company.
Yeah, Levi
I don't know
Strauss.
why they do that. I don't know why they, I mean, like, Levi and Company. I don't know why they do that.
Well, a lot of people name their companies after themselves. Like,
No, you know how it's like, for example, Brittany and Company. Like, why do they say and Company? You know, it always throws me off like that. But,
because it's Brittany and her company. You know, it's Levi Strauss and his company. You know, like
yeah,
be like, you know, Muffin and Company. So like, you know, like right now, like, you know, like you know, me, you, and Sohan here.
Yeah.
For this example, it would be AO and Company. You know, it's me and my company. You know, so essentially, or it's a legal thing. I don't know. Like, you know, there's LTD. You know, is it LTD? Yeah, limited. No, LLC is limited liability corporation. LTD is limited. You know, there's all these business terms and everything. Jumping on up to 1846, Buffalo Bill was born today. He was a U.S. soldier and hunter. We all know who Buffalo Bill was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And 6 years later, in 1852, John Harvey Kellogg, U.S. surgeon who co-created cornflakes, which is pretty good.
Yep. He was, I think he, well, he didn't found the Kellogg Corporation. I think he, like, joined some company and then eventually just took it over and then renamed it to Kellogg's. I'm not sure. But, yeah. And
but
by the way,
a surgeon, huh?
Well, he was a surgeon, and he actually invented cornflakes because he did a lot of circumcisions, and to expand on that, because circumcisions is all about, like, you know, preventing the urge to pleasure oneself. Cornflakes, strangely enough, were invented as an extension to keep you, you know, celibate until marriage. I don't know how, but that's the reason why they were invented. It's a celibacy food.
Yeah. Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah. In 1866, we have Herbert Henry Dow, a Canadian-U.S. businessman who founded the Dow Chemical Company.
Oh, that's cool. In 1902, Jenny Bruller, French author and illustrator who co-founded Les Editations de Menu menu it whatever
L'édition de menu. Yeah.
whatever the French pronouns are.
French.
Oh god.
6
I'll be
years
so
later, in
bad.
1908, Tex Avery was born. He was a U.S. animator, producer, and voice actor. We know him, with Looney Tunes and everything. Tex Avery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a really interesting one right here. In 1932, Johnny Cash, he was singer and songwriter. My bad, guitarist and actor. Screenwriter.
I'm
he
singing as I'm writing. Yada da yada dee.
Sure, people do that. And he was also in the military, I think.
Oh, he was?
If I got that. Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong.
Let me check.
I think he was actually
Johnny Cash in the military. Okay, let's see here. Johnny Cash enlisted in the USAF 69 years ago this month. Well, not today, but according to this article here. So yeah, he was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I know he's sung for a little bit, but anyways, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, jumping on up to 1955, we have Andreas Maislinger, an Austrian historian and academic who founded the Austrian Holocaust Memorial Service.
Interesting. So a year later, in 1956, I thought his last name is Hulu Chewbacca for a second. I literally thought when you read the last one there.
Might as well be.
Same with Michael Hulu Buke, whatever his last name. Not Chewbacca, but anyways, whatever his last name is, French author, poet, and screenwriter and director.
Yes.
And that's the last birth.
Jumping on up into deaths, 420, which it's actually 422. And when it's 422, it's 422. But anyway, we have Porphyry of Gaza, a Greek bishop and saint.
And in 1548, Lorenzo de Medici, Italian writer and assassin.
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
That's interesting. He's a writer by day and assassin by night.
Yeah, shit, that's an interesting job.
I guess you could say the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's just going out there stabbing people in the neck with a fountain pen or something. Your blood is my ink.
Forget that, dude.
1603, we have Maria of Austria, a Holy Roman Empress and spouse of Maximilian II.
Interesting.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I've been the worst ones. I've been the better ones. Oh god. So anyways, 35 years later, Claude Gaspard botched de Mazarak. It's always just French names always screw me up.
Yeah.
Anyways, French math. I know math. What's up with math? I know the freaking word. Mathematician and linguistics. I'm dying.
It's just too easy to make a joke right now. I'm just going to refrain. Jumping on up to 1813, we have Robert R. Livingston, a U.S. lawyer and politician who was the first U.S. Secretary of Foreign Affairs.
It's like that word one again. Anyways, in 1887, on Anna Nande Gopal, Gopal Joshi, first Indian female physician.
Nice.
Interesting.
In 1903, we have Richard Jordan Gatling, the U.S. engineer who invented the Gatling gun.
Oh, that was... Oh, okay. Gatling gun, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, now, in this next section, it's like a mini section. It's the 1936 February incident, like what I said earlier. So these are the three. So I'll start off, so that way you only have one hard one, okay?
Doesn't matter.
Takahashi Koriako, a Japanese accountant and politician who was the 20th Prime Minister of Japan.
Then you got the Saito Mikado, a Japanese admiral and politician who was the 30th Prime Minister of Japan.
I thought you said Nikado avocado.
Saito Mikado.
Avocado. Then we have
Avocado.
Jotaro Watanabe, a Japanese general.
Interesting. Oh, you got this one?
Then we jump on up to 1951. We have Sabiha Kazimati, an Albanian ichthyologist who was executed with 20 others. Dang.
Not perfect, but shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, in 1994, Bill Hicks, U.S. comedian.
2005, we have Jeff Raskin, a U.S. computer scientist who created Macintosh. That's right.
What?
Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep. So
That's all the.
don't give credit to what's his face, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't invent shit. All he did was crack the whip on the inventors and then took all the credit. So.
Yeah, that's all the current Windows programs ever since 2005.
Ever since 1970.
Oh, 1970. That's when the first. Oh wait, no, yeah, you're right. That's the death. My bad. I thought it was the day that the Macintosh was created.
No, he created the Macintosh, as in like I think like the
no,
OS or something. I'm not sure, but
yeah. Sure.
no.
Anyways, the last death in here was Theodore Hesselberg. I think that's if I got the name right.
Yep.
U.S. priest Theologian. Theologian. An educator and academic.
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 I've never heard it pronounced that way. Academic. That's pretty fun. I'm going to start calling it that. Excuse me, are you an academic? What? Are you an academic? You mean academic? No, I mean academic. Jazz hands.
Academic.
Akbar?
Akbar.
It's trap. Anyway, that concludes the show today. Don't forget to check the underbar for any links you may be interested in. For all of you and all of us, I am Eo Xander.
I'm the man.
Yep. And Sohan is kind of not here. Also, the link to his Twitch is in the underbar if you want to go check him out and whatnot. Anyway, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, you'll see us then. Toodles! Did you really have to do that?